Sonnet better not have messed this up. Is this thing working? Yeah. Okay, and we're recording. Okay. Introduction. Prologue. Strength 6. Perception 8. Endurance 5. Charisma 5. Intelligence 9. Agility 4. Luck 3. Remaining 0. Level perks. Buck Horse. Plus 1 additional skill point whenever a skill book is read. Have you ever seen the sun? I have. I remember it. It's not something you forget. I was young. Hadn't got my cutie mark yet, but not as young as you'd think. Young teen. I was a late bloomer. I was down rummaging through some old farms on the outskirts of Ponyville, getting closer to the everfree forest, but trying to keep my distance still, trying to be smart with it. Then it happened. There was this little flash of light I didn't recognize. It lit the floor up all yellow and warm, so I looked up, trying to find where the light was coming from, and I saw it. A parting in the cloud cover. That endless sea of blue that stretched up and up, way past where my eyes could see. There was this shining orb of yellow and white that sat there amongst that blue. It was so bright, but it was also so beautiful, I couldn't look away. I felt it too, the warmth. The way its rays just caressed over my face and warmed me up all nice. It was gorgeous. That was the first time anyway. After that I found a nearby farmhouse and started bunking there once in a while when I could get away from the encampment. Day or night didn't matter much to me. The place was safer back then than it is now. I'd just sit there on the roof of that barn, trying to catch glimpses through the cloud cover of anything up above. I saw the most beautiful things on those days and nights. The nights especially. The nights felt mysterious. They felt like they held secrets, like the stars twinkled notes of music that no one could hear. Like they were almost speaking to each other. They twinkled and flashed in the endless black. Once I even saw a Pegasus or two. That excited me so much I ran right back home to my mother and bragged about what I'd seen. That was a mistake, of course. Mum didn't believe it was Pegasi, for starters. She thought it was a couple of birds I saw, but I remember a flash of gleam from them, like glinting reflection of something metal, and birds don't wear armour. I tried explaining this to her, but she'd already freaked and I was banned from going back to the farm. We'd moved away from the area a little after that. There was talk of raiders encroaching on the place anyway, so it was probably for the best. But I didn't see the sun again, not for a very long time. For a little while on my travels, the sun always greeted me. I could look up whenever I wanted and marvel at its rays and warmth. Some would think you'd get used to it after a while, but personally, I can't get enough of it. I look up at it whenever it's there to be seen, and I'm always in awe. I even saw it today. I want to tell you about today. I will, I promise. But first, I want to tell you about my other days, and what brought me here. It's a mixture of chance, circumstance, a stupid amount of curiosity, and not a small amount of luck. But luck comes in two forms. So whether my luck is good or bad for me, I suppose will be answered tomorrow. Because as much as today has been important to me, I think tomorrow may be important to everyone. There is something special about the stars, I think. Something eternally special. The sun, when you see it, it makes you think of hopes and dreams. But the stars, they give you questions. Their little twinkles make little sparks in your thoughts, and those introspective concerns can't help but poke their annoying little heads out. I remember asking myself, on one of those nights long ago, where the stars filled my gaze and the quietness of the night around me felt peaceful and comforting, I asked myself, what could my life be? I thought about maybe getting a wife in the future, having foals of my own, and being a father one day. Maybe if I did, I could give them a really good life. All the fantasies that the young have before the world crushes them into a fine powder. None of it was ever possible. I feel I have to warn you straight from the start that the story I'm telling is not for the faint of heart. I can only hope that you are of faint of heart, and that you have lived a good long life. I hope this, because if you have managed to survive in this world and still remain faint of heart, then this tome of a diary has been found and read far into a future that I cannot yet see possible, but can only hope may one day be achieved. Because the sad truth is, there are no ponies that are faint of heart in this world. At least, none that will live long. They probably won't even live past tomorrow. Allow me to give you a little context as to the nature of this diary. If you've ever read a diary, unlikely, but let's go with the theory that you have, you'll find that this diary is unlike most others. This is because, despite my initial attempts in the past at writing the basics, I cannot help but fall into the stereotypical ramblings and descriptive methods of a novelist. Because of this, I've decided to make this diary a form of story. A tale, if you'll excuse the pun. Because of this decision, you will find that I will avoid revealing certain things about myself and my past until opportune times. If I'm going to write it like a story, I might as well preserve the shock and awe value by keeping juicy details away until they are needed. I can, however, at least tell you my name. My name is Tometail. I'm a smart pony. Yeah, I know, kind of rare in this part of the world, but my skill set has let me survive. What is my skill set? I'm a really quick learner. Fallout Equestria, Letters to Celestia by Almanac Pony.